Hello and welcome to Movies with My Dad, the podcast where I, film critic Tina Kakadelis, take my dad Stratus to the movies. This week, we saw Trap, directed by M. Night Shyamalan, starring Josh Hartnett, Ariel Donahue, and Suleika Shalaman. Join us for the car ride home. You gotta turn the AC down a little bit. It's frigid.
It's like you were cold.
It was cold.
All
Okay.
right.
What did we see, Dad?
Oh, you want to remember the name of the movie? Taken.
You're joking, right?
Oh, shoot. That's not right. Trapped. Trapped?
Trap.
Trapped. Just Trapped. I mean, it was 2 hours ago that it showed up on the screen, so.
Taken? This isn't Liam Neeson.
This was not Liam Neeson. That's why I'm very disappointed.
There's like 8 of those movies. Oh my god. Taken is crazy. Okay,
All right,
Trap.
so we saw Trapped.
Trap.
Trap, which is M. Night Shyamalan?
No, Shalaman.
Shalaman.
Right? I just looked it up and now you're making me second guess myself.
We'll just call him M. Night
Okay.
for the purposes of this podcast.
Okay.
I know I must have seen another one of his movies. He's made lots, right? But I don't
We
really...
watched The Sixth Sense together.
Oh, that was one of his.
That's like the one that made him like break out into
Okay.
the world because of the twist.
So that would be probably the only other one I've seen.
You never
But-
saw like Signs, The Village?
No.
Oh, you have
no.
seen another one, The Cabin at the End of the World,
I
or
totally don't remember that one.
Last Knock at the Cabin. Yeah, you slept through it.
Okay.
You said it was too long, and you slept through it.
So there you go. So this movie, storyline is what?
Tell me.
Father-daughter. Again, another father-daughter film. that
Love
you
a
take me to.
father-daughter flick.
Is there any father-son films? Not that I have one, but
You don't
it
have
feels
one.
like we're heavy on the father-daughter films out here.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, so a father-daughter go to a concert.
Did that bring back memories for you?
It did. We can go into that in a minute. Go to a concert, and we learned that the father is a serial killer
Yeah.
called the Butcher,
Yeah.
who slices up his victims, and he's been doing it for a long time. Obviously, his 14-year-old, 15-year-old daughter doesn't know, and neither does the rest of his family. But the FBI has set up an elaborate sting to take him down at a pseudo Taylor Swift concert.
Okay.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Strong.
continue.
Yeah, well, I mean, bring back memories of my youth.
I thought we were talking about the movie.
Yeah, I mean, we can, but it was basically for like 70% of it, it really just was like a dad trying to escape a pop concert he didn't want to be at. And that feels like resonated with you.
Wow, I didn't even think of it that way. So
It is.
So instead of getting at a concert, I should go slice people up like the Butcher? Is that what you want your dad to do?
No, I'm just saying, if you take out the murder aspect of it.
Oh, look, I did not mind the concert we went to in Cleveland for the Jonas Brothers. I just couldn't hear for a week after that concert.
And you've complained about it ever since.
That and the parking ticket I got.
That was on your own accord. That
You
is
didn't
not
help me
my
at all.
fault. I was like 14. I don't know
You
parking.
could have seen the sign.
Oh my
Anyways,
God.
so I liked this movie.
Oh.
I didn't think I was going to. The main star,
Josh
what's the actor's name?
Hartnett.
Oh, I thought that was his. What's his name in the movie?
Cooper.
Cooper, right.
I keep
So
saying it.
Cooper, they did say it 100 times, right? So Cooper was really good.
He's like a 90s, I think 80s, 90s teen heartthrob who's just started to get back into...
I could see that. I also could see him, had he not gone this direction, would have ended up on Lifetime or Hallmark movies.
He's a little too murdery, I think.
Well,
for
now
that.
he's a little too murdery.
Man, his face was doing a
was
workout. Oh my goodness, all of his little quivers on his mouth whenever he was like crazy. He was great. I really liked his performance.
Daughter, top notch.
She was great as well.
Now, the one thing I thought was a little odd, right? I know they're actors, but he was awfully... He really was a dad in the way he hugged her, sort of worked around, kissed her, and just all that. I just think that's got to be really odd as an actor.
Yeah,
To
I
be
would
that
imagine.
I mean, it felt like it was like his actual daughter, but I'm assuming it's not, right? She's an actress.
I don't think so.
Right. So portrayed it exceptionally well, and then when you know that he's a mass murderer, it made it exceptionally creepy.
You knew the whole time. They revealed that in
Yes,
the trailer.
no, I mean, oh, the trailer. I don't remember the trailer.
Oh my god.
I'm checking the emails through trailers. I don't pay attention to those because, I don't like to know what a movie's about, unlike you.
And yet you always
Or
make
your
this
mother.
show. Wait. You don't like the trailers, but when I always say we can show up a little later and miss the trailers, you say, well, we can't miss the trailers.
I like watching the ones I like watching and now
my
watching
God.
the other ones.
I can't.
Let's get back to this movie, though.
Okay, so why did you like it so much?
So, for many times throughout the thing, I kept thinking, oh, this is a simple plot. They keep using silly structure to do something, and then they explain it. It's
What do
like,
you mean?
I didn't think that would actually work the way...
Like, give an example.
Yeah, I'm going to have to think about that for a second.
Because I was like, this is not how a concert works.
No, it's definitely not how a concert works. Oh, so who was the singer?
That's M. Night's daughter.
That's his daughter. And
Yeah.
can she actually sing?
Yeah, she wrote all the music for it.
Because there was an entire concert in there.
Yeah, the
Which was
music
kind of
fun.
impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it sounded like exactly what you'd hear on iHeartRadio or whatever it is the kids listen to.
I don't think they're listening to iHeartRadio. Oh my. Okay, so you liked it. That's it?
It kept me entertained throughout the entire thing. I didn't fall asleep. I was interested. I wanted to see where they were going to go with it. I didn't see where M. Night's daughter, what was her name in the movie?
Lady Raven.
Lady Raven, right. I
I liked her twist.
Her twist was interesting, but the fact that she was willing to step into it,
Yeah.
step up, I'm not sure I understood why.
Well, I mean, like, what would you do if you're a pop star and, like, you set up this whole concert for...
Well, why did she care about the concert?
Okay,
'Cause
also...
I thought we were going to find out that one of her relatives was chopped up by the butcher.
No.
And that's why she cared.
No.
Who did she hug at the end?
The kid that was trapped in the basement.
That was that kid, but the kid before that.
The girl who was watching her live stream who was like, I know
Oh, I didn't catch that. Okay, so that's who that was. Not that important to the storyline. I just missed
the
it.
thing. It didn't make sense because they said that they threw this whole concert.
Well, the concert was legitimate. There was going to be a concert.
Who throws like a 2 p.m. concert?
Who said it was 2 p.m.?
They said, thank goodness she added this afternoon concert.
My goodness, I miss a lot in these movies.
But it was laid out so well, and you were so happy with it. I will say, I did really like that you have all those movies that are... What's the one that we watched that's set in Pittsburgh in the Igloo? Sudden Death? That's like from the cop's point of view.
Right.
Where it's the cop trying to find the murderer within. Although, I will say, that 97-year-old FBI woman, British FBI woman who is leading the charge, would have loved to have spent the whole movie with her. She was bonkers.
She was bonkers, but I didn't understand her role because she was a profiler. But she seemed to be running the entire operation.
It was crazy. And she's also 97.
Well, that's okay.
Are
you ageist, Tina?
I'm not, but like, I wouldn't put her in charge. Deer.
Oh, there are like 4 deer in that guy's front yard.
2.
Just like 4.
Oh my goodness. So I don't really think that you would thrive as a serial killer.
No, I couldn't keep... So, how did he keep his lives all separate like that? Because he had a wife and 2 kids.
I wish Alison Pill got to do more. I really like Alison Pill, and she doesn't show up in a ton of stuff. She played the wife.
Oh, is that her name?
Alison Pill, yeah.
I've seen her in...
She's in a bunch of stuff.
Oh, wait, she's in Star Trek.
Oh.
She's in one of the Star Trek
Well, maybe that's why she's not popping up in stuff I'm watching. She's busy.
So, but I wish they spent a little more time explaining, and there was a touch of it, how somebody could have this kind of...
oh my gosh.
Isn't there a stop sign there?
There is, yeah, but they thought it was their turn.
Well, we survived that one, and that was not my fault, correct?
That was not you were not paying attention.
I did. I thought he was coming to a complete stop, which he was coming to a stop.
Yeah, but then he still...
And then he accelerated after I accelerated, so that was weird. Anyways.
You always taught me defensive driving, and yet...
And I did not, and I swerved. I swerved to get out of the way. Look, he was going to hit me, not you, so you would have been fine.
It's fine.
It was a low speed. We were 12 miles an hour.
Oh, my goodness.
Anyways, what were we saying? Oh,
You wanted
so
more
I
explanation.
wanted more. There was a little bit about how his mom would have noticed that he was a problem growing up. He had a different brain, and his mom would have been the only one that would have noticed this problem. And after a certain amount of time, like 5-10 years old, he could then learn to fool everyone else, right? And that's how he became a psychotic. He was psychotic to begin with, or whatever the right word is. But that was sort of an interesting thing. I'd like to want to know how he could live his entire life like that. It seems impossible.
It did
to do
feel
that.
like they just called him OCD with mommy issues and called it a day.
And called it a day.
And I didn't love that.
No.
It didn't really feel right for people with OCD.
Or mommy issues. Don't forget that.
God forbid. But it's just, like that's one of my issues with horror and thriller movies is that instead of giving you like a well-rounded, because like I loved his performance. I thought his performance was like this really weird line of campy but also creepy and just like willing to do anything.
I didn't think it was campy at all. I thought it was
There were parts that were like pretty campy.
only the t-shirt seller guy.
A lot of it felt campy to me. But anyway, you have this angle that you're going for of here's this unsettling circumstances, but maybe we need a little bit of backstory for it. So let's just throw some mental illness diagnosis at him and like call it a day. And I don't appreciate that in a lot of horror movies, and they do it all the time. So that's frustrating. Because otherwise, I had a really good time until we started throwing all these things out in there.
I don't watch any of these, to be honest, so it seemed okay to me.
It didn't, because you're basically making him mimic a very real thing that people have, and you're saying that.
Well, I don't understand people's fascination with serial killers in general. And that's what I feel like this kind of movie, and even that the t-shirt seller in the movie played that role, right? People that are fascinated by mass murderers. Mm-hmm. And I don't get it. Why do you even want to think about them, let alone, almost idolize them in some way, shape, or form?
Well, that's,
and this
we
guy
can't
makes
get into
it.
that.
This guy, well, the Cooper seems almost approachable in that sense. I mean, he makes it somebody you're interested in.
You would have fallen for Ted Bundy.
I would have fallen for Ted Bundy, right? I would have been sliced up
What
somewhere.
it seems like, because nothing about Cooper makes me want to hang out with him.
Well,
I don't trust. No, he's one of those like overly. He was too trying to overcompensate. So I didn't trust him at all.
But if you met him in real life, you would.
I would know. I'd be like, that man was too talkative and nice and wanted to help too much. Again, if you were a little sorority girl, you would have fallen under Ted Bundy, is what I'm learning.
Well, it runs in the family. How about the
What
great?
do you mean it runs in the family?
Maybe you would have fallen for him.
No, I just said I wouldn't.
You don't know until it happens.
Oh.
Well, how about the scene with, I guess, his daughters? She broke up with her best friends.
Yeah.
And her best friends were at this concert with their mother. And that was a great little scene.
And you're telling me that's not campy? That's campy.
That was campy. That was funny. So,
He
explain that scene.
It doesn't really matter.
Oh.
That's too much. That's too much backstory.
Okay, I thought that was a good scene, though.
I think what I really appreciated in this is M. Night gets a lot of, anytime he puts out a movie, everyone's like, what's the twist? What is the thing? Because he made his name off of The Sixth Sense.
Do all his movies have twists?
Yes. Like The Village has a huge twist.
Oh.
Science has a huge twist. Knock at the Cabin, whatever. I can't remember the name of it.
So this one had a very mild twist.
Exactly. And that's
Okay.
what I'm saying is I really liked that he kind of shied away from essentially hinging it all on this twist that 7 out of 10 times doesn't always come through, but kind of leaned into the absurdity that he seems to really enjoy and like the tension that he's really good at making. So I appreciated this movie for that. Really the only thing that held me back was it felt like it could have ended a couple times and then it just kept going.
That is true.
I did like how it ultimately ended. I think that was fun. But
Except I didn't believe the ending.
you don't think that he could just rip a spoke from a bike?
No, heck no. There's
the
no way he
SWAT
could
team.
pull out a spoke from the bike. So he pulls a spoke out from the bicycle, his kid's bike. Maybe it was loose. Maybe I'll give you the fact that he had pre-loosened it just in case this scenario happened.
Well, no, because then that also doesn't make sense because he's like, I separate my home and my
I know, but he also
murdering,
had
but then he also built a tunnel in his home. So, like, what is the
He's always
truth?
planning. But how in the world do you use a spoke from a bicycle to unlock a set of police handcuffs. I do not think that's even possible.
Well, if you can bend it like he
Doesn't
can.
matter. You can't pop the. Anyways,
You just have to break your thumb.
you have to break your thumb.
That's
Is that
how
another
you.
movie?
No. To get out of police handcuffs, you break your thumb, and that way you can get your hand through.
Why do you know this information? So the twist, I had only a slight problem with, because
What are you calling the twist?
the wife.
What
Is that
about
the
the
twist?
what? I don't think there really was one.
Well, the fact that she's the one that turned him in. I guess that's the twist.
I guess that's a moderate
But
twist.
It's a very moderate twist, but what I don't understand is why didn't she felt the need to turn him in some way, shape, or form, and stay anonymous and not give any more details about it. Why didn't she just send a note to the police and say,
No.
well, that's what she did, right? She called.
called.
She called. So that's a note.
Are you taking the longer way because you have more to say?
No, I just decided to make a right here. So
Without a turning signal,
With-
I'm my dad.
let me get this thought out. So why would she started having some hints that maybe he was the killer, right? And she calls the police and leaves some clues in one of his safe houses.
Right.
Why didn't you just call and say, I think my husband is the serial killer?
Because that's
Why didn't you just go pick him up or watch him?
I mean, I don't, because she's
Instead,
not sure.
let's have an entire concert with 20,000 people in it and detain every male.
To be fair, I don't think she thought that's what was going to happen.
I mean, there's a lot of constitutional rights went out the window there at that stadium.
It's probably in the terms and conditions when you buy a ticket.
that I subject myself to being separated from my family and my daughter and taken pictures of by the police.
Probably.
And detained.
Probably.
Yeah. Ticketmaster, I might need to look at the next one we go to and see what's on the bottom there
We'll check it when we go to Bruce.
when we go to Bruce.
Also, there was a line in the men's bathroom. That is a lie.
Oh, because there were only 3,000 men in the entire 20,000?
Yes. Like, this is not true at all.
That's, you kid in on that one, huh?
I did, and it bothered me. Okay, let me think. Any
we're
last?
almost home here.
Yeah. Any final? Oh, I mean, okay. So if we're calling the mom giving her husband a twist, I don't really. It didn't shock me that much, but I think that's just because of the mother that I have, where she would have sold you down the river.
Yeah, she wouldn't have made it questionable. She
wouldn't have made it anonymous. She would have gone.
She also wouldn't have called the cops. She would have taken care of me straight out. That'd be a whole different movie. Your mom.
I don't think she
killing me.
would. I think she would go the legal justice route, but I don't think she would care to make it anonymous like that and like stage a fake.
It's true. She'd be standing at the back end of the police car as they
She's
lock
like,
me up.
"It's him."
It's him. Take him out. All right. So, how many handcuffs are you going to give this
My
movie?
goodness. 3.
Oh.
2.5, 3, somewhere in there.
You know, I'll match you on that. I would agree because
That is shocking.
It is. It's probably the first time we've done that. It was entertaining. I was not bored anywhere through it.
Well, there you go.
And I wanted to see how it ended, so I hung out all the way to the end. So enjoyable.
Take a nap.
Life changing? No, but enjoyable.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
That's it for this week's episode of Movies with My Dad. You can find all of our episodes online at movieswithmydad.com. You can also send us an email at movieswithmydadpod@gmail.com. My dad is desperate to hear from you. You can find me, Tina, on Twitter at Captain Ameripug or Letterboxd at Tina_DOCX. You can find my dad at our local Home Depot. Tune in next week when we head back to the movies.